And it is a real special thing in this chamber that we have pro-life patriots who represent medicine, the profession of law, mothers, fathers, people who understand life from the most intimate fashion. I happen to be a pastor, and it was 40 years ago that I had just accepted a call to my first church out of divinity school. I was busy in that ministry and getting started and didn't take too much notice of Roe v. Wade. But it was in 1978 where that issue hit me full square in the face when two wonderful young people in my church came to my office and said, "Pastor, we have a problem." And went on to talk about an unplanned pregnancy that they had. As we discussed, they committed to the fact that they intended to keep the child as a gift of God. But ultimately, the story didn't go that way because their parents, who were fine, upstanding church members, yet determined that these children wouldn't have that as a detriment to their life, encouraged them to, as they called it, terminate the pregnancy. It broke my heart, and I watched the pain on these two young people go on even to this very day, 40 years later. And I committed to my God that I would stand for life strongly, and had the privilege of doing that in the pastorate, in counseling sessions, on boards of adoption agencies and crisis pregnancy centers as well. But it was just a few years ago, 6 years to be exact, when I held in my hands little John Timothy Walberg, my first grandson, along with his twin brother, Micah Todd Walberg. Two little boys born at 24 weeks, 1 pound, 12 ounces, 12 inches long, fighting for life. They had been born just down the corridor from where abortions were being done on those same age children. And I saw these two boys fight for life. Someday I will see John Timothy again in heaven. But I thank God that little Micah Todd is alive, 6-year-old, growing, strong, healthy, a gift of God. The framers of our Declaration of Independence went to their knees many times. They understood the value of politics, but they also understood the value of truth. Truth that came not from man, but truth that came from God. Truths such as these, where it said in Psalm 127:3, "Behold, children are a gift of the Lord. The fruit of the womb is a reward." Jeremiah 1:5, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." Psalm 139, where it says, "For you formed my inward parts. You wove me in my mother's womb. I will give thanks to you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, and my soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in secret and skillfully wrought in the depths of the earth. Your eyes have seen my unformed substance, and in your book were all written the days that were ordained for me, when as yet there was not one of them." I end by going back to what ultimately came from understanding of truth by our framers and founders, when they said, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, among them the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." I yield back.
Thank you so much, Mr. Walberg.